Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another StarCraft Brood War upload! This will be a game between Flash and Best on Colosseum. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Flash. And in the top right side of the map, we have the green Protoss player. It is Best. Now, Flash needs no introduction. He's probably the best player of Brood War in all time. I mean, there are probably people who will disagree with me, but the general consensus is that he is the man. He is the man. He's very scary to play against. However, in the top right corner, we have Best. He is a Protoss player who played pro for several years in the Brood War scene, and there was a period for 2 years there where his win-loss rate versus Terran was 82%. He knows how to handle Terran in a Brood War. And again, this is not any Terran. This is Flash, we're going to say. So it might not be as easy as that, but it should be a very excellent match here. Did find this replay on teamliquid.net. Good place to get Brood War replays if you're interested in this kind of a thing, and I'll keep casting these maybe once a week or so until things start to pick up. Hard to find replays right now, you guys. Really hard to find them. Had people submitting them to me, which is nice, stuff they've played, but as far as the high-level stuff goes, it's so hard to find. So hard to find. So we're going to go ahead and try to make this thing happen about once a week, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. Good hold there, actually. SCV blocking that probe, trying to come in and see what is going on with the nice little supply depot and barracks block there. I've been playing the Brood War campaign to this point. The Brood War missions are so much better than the original StarCraft missions. Like, all the StarCraft missions are just like, kill stuff. You win. And Brood War has little things like, you got to bring medics to this area. You got to use these specific units to do this particular thing. Bring the pilots to the battle cruisers. It's a little different is what it is, which I appreciate. They put a lot more effort into the Brood War missions, and you can kind of see the influence in the StarCraft 2 missions, and those started coming in the campaign as well. Very much more involved than just go out and kill your opponent most of the time. So scouting around, this is a 4-player map based on the scouting abilities and the scouting patterns of these dudes. I am trying so hard to remember what the purpose of the sunken colony is. Is it so you can't wall off or you can't cannon? It's somebody tell me in the comments. I remember seeing this when I used to watch pro replays a lot back in like 2010, 2011, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it is, and I'm sure somebody will tell me. So expansion done and happily mining for Flash. Expansion done as well for our Protoss player. And again, from what I remember in the procast between Protoss and a Terran when I used to watch this was that mech was kind of the way to do things. Mech was the way to go in TVP. You got your Hellions, not Hellions, sorry. You got your Goliaths. Why do I call them Hellions? You got your Goliaths, you got your tanks, you got your missile turrets thrown up there, you got a ton of vultures throwing down spider mines everywhere. And then it just makes this giant, like, impassable minefield that Protoss has a really hard time dealing with, which is why Protoss goes for things like Dragoons with extended range, observers, so you can hit the spider mines before they kill your stuff, and doing zealot drops on top of the tanks, and that's what I remember seeing. However, I could be entirely wrong on this. Actually, is my sound up enough here? Yeah, you know what? I think it is. Maybe I'll do that up a little bit more. We can hear that mining in the background. The music is coming through loud and clear, though. I assume I can hear it very nicely anyway. So if that's what this game doesn't turn into, then I apologize. Perhaps my understanding of the meta is a little bit off. I got to sit down and just watch some more of that stuff. Africa has been broadcasting a bunch of this stuff as well. See, the Dragoons are out. The Dragoons are out, and he is working on the range for the Dragoons. So I think this is where we're going with it. Dragoons moving out across the map. Maybe going to try to kill Flash before that whole big line of death shows up. It almost reminds me of World War I. You just have these trenches with a no man's land in between it, and a lot of mines, a lot of tanks hitting stuff, killing his own sunken colony for a second, then actually picking off an SCV that's trying to scout instead. So, if I understand right, killing the sunken colony should lead to the removal of this creep, and it does. Wow, very quickly. Look how fast that recedes. I just don't know why. For the life of me, I can't remember why it's there. The tank production has begun for Flash. Very hard for Dragoons to break that. Idle SCV for Flash as well. That just goes to show you have to babysit your SCVs so hard in Brood War. He puts tank right in the mineral line, actually. Really worried about getting attacked over here for whatever reason. Both players sitting on 2 bases. A sneaky armory down here. Why? Why did Flash put an armory down here? I don't understand. He has an armory. He's getting +1 armor for his ground units. There we go. Goliath online. One of the worst pathing units in the game. Next to Dragoons. Dragoons and Goliaths are probably the worst. Let's see, is he working on... No, he already has siege mode. He already upgraded that at the machine shop. He can get extended range for Goliaths as well at the machine shop. I don't know if he has it or not because I can't tell because the observer interface is just not really useful for observers, it turns out. Again, I really hope Brood War Remastered has an improved observer interface to get some more information for these casts, but as it stands, we're just going to call it like we see it. There we go. Shuttle with... Are those Zealots or Dark Templar in there? I'm forgetting my outlines as I look at it. Let's see what comes out of here. I want to say it's Dark Templar. They got the, like, capes going on behind them. I think that's what they're trying to do with that 1997 graphic style. I'm trying to sneak on in. Oh, the hell? No, why do you keep calling you Hellions? The Goliaths. Goliath online. Goliath is going to get a shot. Oh, they are DTs. Oh, they're going to try to kill the Goliath before the Goliath can kill. Oh, perfectly done. Perfectly done. They are Dark Templar killing an SCV, building a supply depot, going after supply, trying to supply block Flash here. Is there any detection available? There are missile turrets, but just now going for the ComSat station. Nope, that's not even a ComSat station. Why is he not having a ComSat station? I don't understand. In so much trouble. He's just going to try to do this thing with missile turrets, but he is going to be supply blocked after the supply depot dies, trying desperately to repair it as an SCV. No, not going to happen. And picks up, gets out. Supply blocking Flash is pretty much going to be good enough there. Missile turret does hit the shuttle as it heads on out of there. I'd love for it to find this armory because I don't know why it's over here instead of with everybody else. That is such a weird thing. All right, observers out. Yes. Dragoons out. Yes. Gonna look for them spider mines. I don't know actually if Flash has any spider mines. Has he been making vultures at all? I wish I could go to my units tab and see this, but I can't. But I cannot. So, Oh, Science Vessel is also pretty important as well. Tossing down EMPs, reducing the shields on the Protoss army is super nice, and sometimes defensive matrix on tanks, but don't usually really see that. So, Observer trying to come down. Again, I wish I could control how sensitive middle click scrolling is, because I am barely moving it. It's like... That's the sound it makes if you can't hear it. Alright, so coming in here with our Dragoons with range, we got our Dark Templar in the shuttle. Actually, not Zealots, surprisingly. Third base, happily mining for Best here. Best doing things pretty well. Pretty well. That DT attack slowed down Flash somewhat, and if you can slow down Flash somewhat, you're going to take that as a win. You will take that for absolute certain. Got tanks up in a lot of positions. Got a lot of tanks. There we go. Vultures now starting to pop out here with their spider mines, which you do have to upgrade at the... There we go. That's speed for vultures and spider mines being upgraded at the machine shops as well. So moving on out. Again, it takes a while to get up this mech composition. It's just like in StarCraft 2. But once you've got it, you're going to be in a pretty good spot here. So there's this... Oh, this ComSat does take down the DT, trying to kill the missile turret. The missile turret dies as well because of splash damage on these tanks that already have +1/+1. And there we go, tossing down the spider mines at the front. It's not that they can't be killed, because again, with the observer and the range on the Dragoons, you can get rid of them. It's just you have to get in range of tanks if the tanks are positioned properly, and it really makes for a nice slow push across the map that's very hard for our Protoss fans to deal with. All right, here we come. We've got a siege tank and 2 vultures flying across the map in a dropship. Gonna go ahead and try to murder some things here in Protoss land. Can they get it? Where are they going to land? At this third base. They're going to land at the third base. Tank and actually sending the vultures elsewhere. One-shotting those workers. Such a beautiful drop, man. Such a beautiful drop. And then vultures just sitting here doing that extra damage versus workers. Is it especially explosive damage? Let's see. Where are you, man? Does it tell me what kind of damage you do here, or do I have to look it up? Might have to actually look it up. Meanwhile, the Zealots and the Dark Templar take care of the tank thanks to the Arbiter here, which is wonderful. Arbiter can kill the dropship. It's a slow attack, but eventually you're going to get there, and not even really trying to escape at this point is Flash, recognizing he is toast. Recognizing that he is toast. Third base up, happily running over here. Now for Flash, he's got ComSat stations now. That's good. That early DT might have caught him by surprise. I don't know what. Is he killing? What the what? Flash has killed all of his own spider mines that were in front of his map. Why would he do that? Again, comment section, let me know. So moving here, we do have a nice little Arbiter, Zealot, Dragoon, Dark Templar, kind of a thing here. Trying to pick off these vultures, trying to do a bit of a run by. No, not allowed, not allowed. But here are the spider mines tossed on down, and now you can't go that way. Haha. Good luck. It just slows down the Protoss. It slows down the Protoss immensely, is what it does. Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting here. We do have no attack upgrades on the Dragoons, interestingly enough. No upgrades at all for our ground units. Meanwhile, the Vultures do have +2/+2 with a fragmentation grenade. That's siege tanks with the arc light cannon at +2 as well. 30+6 damage when not in siege mode. And when they're in siege mode, shot cannon does 70+10. So it's actually not too dissimilar from StarCraft 2. Those numbers. Arbiter coming in, can do that recall ability. Oh, too many missile turrets though. Does the recall get off anyway? It does. The recall gets off on anyway. We have Dragoons, we have Zealots. We got a lot of stuff here inside the natural base of Flash, pulling all the SCVs, running for their lives, trying to murder what they can. The Arbiter gave its life to make this thing happen. It's just in shambles. This natural base is toast. There are some tanks responding, and tanks are beautiful against Dragoons. Absolutely melt them. Vulture's pretty darn good against Zealots here as well. Trying to get in here with the Zealots right on top of the tanks. One of the tanks not in siege mode, very smartly, recognizing that we need to be able to attack something. But let's see, Dragoons hiding in the top here. They pretty much shut down this natural base entirely. Tanks, can they hit from there? Man, look at that range. Look at that range on these tanks. Yeah, Dragoons just kind of stuck, and they know it. There's no going home. No going home for them. Checking to see if Flash is a base in the bottom right side. There's not a base down there at all. Stalker trying to kill a tank and does get one. Woo! Nicely done, tank. Fighting yet another tank here. Again, the upgrades are just good. Just really good here for our Terran player, and that helps immensely. So, kind of recognizing where there are spider mines here. Vulture spider mines here. They are detectors, aren't they? They're detectors, and they do splash damage. And they're invisible, and they're stealth. They're really interesting units in that way. I don't think anything else in StarCraft has that particular combination. You know, obviously, Widow Mines in StarCraft 2 do have that burrow splash damage thing, but they're not detectors themselves. Vultures trying to get rid of these Dragoons by themselves. They outnumber them pretty well. There we go. Throwing down the spider mines, and can they hit? One of them hits, killing a single Dragoon, but otherwise well handled there by Best. Well handled indeed. Let's see. We're looking at 188 available supply to 143 with the Protoss player in the lead right now. And actually taking the base in the bottom right side himself is Best, interestingly enough. Again, so this line, this terrible, terrible line of so many spider mines, so hard to deal with. If you're a Protoss player, you just got to get as many Dragoons as possible and hope the tanks don't kill you too much. They don't kill you too much. Does he actually have any Goliaths anymore? Oh, I hear a Goliath. I hear a Goliath doing something. Goliath? There's another Arbiter that snuck down here somewhere. Is he going to recall? Is he going to recall in? That is a good... Wait, this isn't the one from before. No, this is a different one. This is a different one. He could recall the entire army in here if he wanted, but he's just kind of hitting stuff. It does 10 damage per shot, and it's a really slow fire rate. So, I don't know why he's not recalling stuff. Is it recall, or is it... It is recall, isn't it? Dimensional recall? I believe that's what it is. Another base coming up here from Best. Really out-expanding our Terran player pretty darn well. 3 bases to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for Best. Good gravy, Miss Maybe. Clearing out all these Spider-Mans using Zealots. He doesn't care if Zealots die. Zealots are cheap. Zealots are cheap. Checking the top left side. So good map awareness so far from Best. Recognizing he needs to know if there are any additional bases from Flash. And here we go. Tank. Vulture. Single Goliath. Nope, 2 Goliaths. Nope. Okay, the Goliaths are now starting to come in here. So we do have 5 Goliaths. Got our science vessels as well. It might be time to go for Flash. Might be time to push right on out here. Goliath's trying to kill an Observer. Observer just repositioning itself so it doesn't end up dead. Continuing to move out here. Do we have a battle? Do we have a battle at this point in time? Another Arbiter trying to sneak on down. You can make as many Arbiters as you want. It's just the missile turrets, man. There's the recall, and he gets it again. Another Suicide Arbiter recall at this natural base. So many SCVs dying. I wish I knew how many workers were available here. Is he going? No, Flash is going for it. He doesn't care. He's going to let this thing die. He's going to base race. He's moving right on up here, setting up his tanks in siege mode. There's defensive matrix on some of these tanks. Getting some nice shots off. Once the tanks are in siege mode with +3 attack, you just got to back off. The Protoss army is going to be in so much trouble. Trying to cloak them, which the Science Festival does do reveal on that as well. Does reveal those cloaked units. EMP is tossed down. Oh, Arbiter ends up getting killed anyway, and there's a pullback from Best on this way. Meanwhile, his Dragoons do have +1 attack. Not much anything more than that. Some defensive tanks are trying to deal with these guys, but there are only a couple of them. And they're completely dead. Some Vulture trying to come in here as well. Again, they will do damage against Dragoons, but they're just not an amazing way of doing that. Tank count is still pretty stupid high here. I don't think Best can actually engage directly here. Just moving across the map to Best stuff. I think Best is going to lose a base or two here. He just has a giant army right on his front doorstep that he can't really approach, which is the problem with how this generally works. All right, what do we got? We got Siege Tank setting up shop here. Not even really bothering to go into siege mode. Just going to kill this space straight up, killing all of these probes as well. We still do have Dragoons wandering into this third base of Flash. Flash might be down to 0 mining bases. I mean, technically 1 mining base, but there's a mineral patch here with 12 minerals, so we're going to call that 0. Look at how many workers are at this base with a single mineral patch. This game is amazing. All right, here we go. Coming into the main base. This is where all the production facilities for Best are, and he's going to try to defend it with his life, not even bothering to siege up his tanks. He doesn't recognize that as much of a threat. There are too many Zealots, I think, to siege it up here. The Goliaths are going to take down that Arbiter. Their anti-air capabilities are pretty great. Terrible pathing notwithstanding. There we go. Sieging up the tanks in range of all of these buildings, and these gateways are going to die. Going to come back home. Coming back home now is Best. Flash has reestablished his third base. He's happily mining from there. A lot of idle workers there at that main, but a lot of attention being paid up here. Trying to come up this backside are these Zealots and Dragoons, but look at how much Dragoon blood there is here. Like I told you, fully upgraded siege tanks are just, you can't walk into it with Dragoons, man. You just can't do it. Losing all of these gateways is Best. He's trying to make another Arbiter. That's a pretty long build though, but he does have these bases on the right side that he's happily mining from. It's just losing the production facilities means he can't do anything with them with all the money that he has. Yeah, but it's just a slow push, slow roll in here. A lot of HP on buildings. Destroying bases, I feel like, is a lot slower in Brood War. Another base being taken to the top left side by Best, and maybe another one? No. Nope, not another one, but regardless, we have a lot of income here for Best. He's sitting, I wish I could tell how many minerals he had. Oh yeah, okay. So, well, Flash has 100 minerals and 1,500 gas. Best has 1,900 minerals and 200 gas. So they're both kind of on the opposite sides of that spectrum there. And yeah, I think Best has just given up on his main base pretty much entirely. At this point, fully upgraded mech right dead near in his base, causing so many problems. Widow Mine's getting some hits off. Oh, actually, no, picking him off fairly well are the Dragoons here in the middle of the map. And it's kind of just going to come down to what? Can Best reestablish his base? He's trying to reestablish his base here in the bottom right side of the map. He's replanting his Cybernetics core. These tanks, 14 kills, 11 kills, 11 kills, 7 kills. How many of these have 11 kills? A lot of them, actually, surprisingly. Cyber core is going to die, but again, he's got another one coming up down here at one of his expansions. Flash, did he expand again? He expanded again during all of this craziness and confusions. He hasn't retaken his natural base, but he's going for a fourth to the right of his third, and he might... I don't know who's going to win this thing. That's why this is so great. This is why StarCraft is a wonderful game, because I don't know at this point in time. Yeah, probably more income for Best. It's got 3 mining bases, although a tank has... Oh, tank found this base in the middle. Kind of in the middle, top side. Yeah, Best has had this for a while, but now it's dead. However, his top left base is happily mining, so we were looking at 3 bases versus 2, which... it's going to be pretty good, but again, the production facilities are still alive for Flash, whereas still trying to replan his gateways and his stargates and whatever else he's been doing here is Best, trying to make this thing happen. So the thing about siege tanks is they're really good, but they're also incredibly slow. So you can kind of abuse that immobility a little bit, but oh my, oh, Stasis Ward being thrown down. Is that Stasis Ward, Stasis Trap, something like that? Casting some of these units into Stasis Ward, they cannot be attacked, but they also cannot attack. Cutting the army size in half a little bit, but man, all these reinforcements from Flash, there are just so many of them coming right on in. So many Vultures. You can hear the number of Zealots that are dying here. Arbiter getting picked off by the Goliaths in the sky as well. Tanks setting up in siege mode, some tanks not in siege mode. A bit of a surround, a flank attack from Best coming from the backside, trying to kill a bunch of these tanks, but again, it's tanks, man, and you're Dragoons, and I mean, you're taking out some of the tanks, but it's mostly very, very difficult proposition here. Vulture's actually trying to take down these cannons, not doing too poorly with their support. Coming from the siege tank. Siege tank's trying to move into the new home base of Best. Knows if he can kill this, he's going to be in a good position A wonderful position to win this game. Cannon gone, Nexus gone. Zealot taking out a Goliath in the middle of nowhere here, and it's just coming down to suddenly best position is not looking as good as it was. He's down to 2 mining bases instead of 3. Is Flash going to expand again? I don't know that he actually needs to. He's got a pretty good bank. He's almost maxed out. He's at 160 total supply here. And producing more Zealots and more Dragoons, but otherwise it's just a tough place to be. An incredibly tough place to be here. If you're best. Army moving up to the top left side here with a bunch of vultures representing said army. They will fight Dragoons with their Spider Mine abilities. They'll try to hit them. They can't kill them straight up, but Spider Mines can hit pretty darn well. Good control there by Best, not allowing any of them to destroy any of his units. There's that defensive matrix on top of these siege tanks, and Zealots just walking right up to the tanks, doing a lot of work here with their +2 attack. Might actually break this. Might Best. Vultures coming to save the day. Additional tanks coming to save the day as well, and there go those Zealots. Science Vessel's trying to get out of there, and that's it. Best is out. Best leaves the game, and Flash is victorious. Woo! What a ridiculous TVP. And again, this is kind of what Brood War is, unless they do some balance changes, which I don't think they'll necessarily ever do. It's just this. It's tanks, it's vultures, it's Goliaths, it's Dragoons, it's Zealots, it's Arbiters. Those are the core units for this matchup, and it just makes for really crazy back and forth stuff. So Flash managed to make it happen. It wasn't looking good for him there a little bit earlier, but he managed to pull it off. I wish I could show you how many resources were lost, but that turns out to be entirely impossible. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Oh, not a Legacy of the Void upload. I was on autopilot. Daily, and not even a daily, but another weekly Brood War upload. Sometimes more than weekly, whatever. Another StarCraft Brood War upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.